Welcome, welcome. My name is Ralph.
My name is Nikas.
And this is
Blacc Screen Finance. Yeah. So why the name Blacc Screen Finance? For us, we wanted to create a platform that was impactful and had meaning behind it. If you take the opportunity to break down the name Blacc Screen or Blacc, it's pretty much bona fide love, advancing cultural change. And what that means to us is we wanted to create a platform that's going to impact, people in a positive way, right? Growing up, for myself at least, I grown up in an environment where I wasn't privy to knowledge in terms of managing money or how to invest or anything of that nature. In reality, my family never really had money growing up, so a lot of these things that I've done was mostly self-taught or influenced by, the environments that I put myself in. Going to, master's program for finance, interacting with several different people that introduced me to, investments such as stocks and options, doing pretty well there. Purchases of houses and stuff like that, so at the end of the day, just putting yourself in the right environment to learn and grow. And we wanted to, kind of package that up and kind of bring that to our audience and kind of just bring that to individuals so they have the same opportunities that we might have or never had, on our journey. What about you?
Yeah, for myself, basically, so my parents are Jamaican as well. We're both of Jamaican descent.
Okay.
Parents moved to Italy a long time ago because decided they wanted to make a life for themselves. So I came down to the U.S. when I was about 8 years old, and I've been here ever since. So basically, same thing. The one biggest thing they installed into me from a young age was hard work is everything, right? So from a young age, I tried always to figure out ways to make money up until now. Right. The one thing I didn't know is that when I did have that pile of money, I didn't have any clue what to do with it. And when I was younger, I would just go out and spend it. So that's one thing that as time went on, that I kind of got a strong interest in, just to kind of bring in a little journey in terms of my background. I was going to school for engineering because a teacher told me that I was good at math. So and then engineers make a lot of money, so that's probably what you should go for. So I did. But then what I found was that my interest outside of school had a lot to do with finances, and again, how to manage money, how to spend it, how to make it work for me. So I started doing a lot of research into those aspects, stuff that my parents couldn't teach me because they didn't have anybody to teach them.
Yep.
Right. So those are like the little things that I had to go out of my way to make sure that I learned, just to make sure that I put myself in a good position. But for us, again, what we want to do is want to make sure that we're providing the same knowledge that we ourselves looked up, to make sure that we're making it work for people. Everything that I looked up, whether it's through YouTube, through books, online, or just talking to people in general, led me to doing things like at 23 buying my first property. Right.
Yeah, that's dope.
For me, that was huge. Right. And I said first for a reason. I said first because I don't intend on just stopping at one. I'm looking at ways to continue to build that growth for myself as well. But in the meanwhile, doing things like stock investing, looking at options as well, so that I can continue to make funds and make money that way without just focusing solely on my job.
Nice.
Nikas and I, we actually work for a Fortune 500 company. That's how we actually met. And all the funds that I could create from that aspect of work, I try to go ahead and build into the rest of my outside life.
Yeah, so as you guys can see, man, we're very versed. Like I said, most of the things that we be speaking on this platform are things that we're doing, right? For me personally, I've had countless of individuals, whether it's registered business, whether it's creating business plans, whether it's investing in stock, whether it's investing in options, whether it's just providing advice in general, right? We do these things for myself also. Like we're in the process of launching a startup company, that recently just won a competition at Tech by Google Startup Weekend, so we're very excited about that, So at the end of the day, we have a lot of cool things that we have working on ourselves, and we just think it was the right time to bring something like this to the forefront and just try to help educate people. And it doesn't matter what area of your journey you're in, your financial journey, we're here to help, answer questions and just build a community where we all can help each other advance, So that's what we're about, and that's why we choose this platform.
Absolutely. All right, so based on my observations, one of the things that I've come across is that, a lot of people, work really hard. But what the missing piece is that they're really buying into the hype, right? By that, what I mean is that a lot of people would rather spend money on things like the latest gear or the flashiest car, just to look like they have money, versus doing things that would actually help them make it or keep it, right? So that would be things like, investing in a course, whether it be real estate, investing, how to manage your money, things of that nature. So what our job is, or what we say our mission is to go ahead and present knowledgeable and good information for everyone to go ahead and use to go ahead and further themselves educationally when it comes to finance, right? Now, just to kind of speak again a little bit about my background in terms of me personally and my finances, I do have, whether from friends, family, even coworkers, right? They said things like, "Oh, Ralph, you're cheap."
You cheap, bro.
No, it's not. See, it's not that I'm cheap, right? I'm just very selective, right? So I just want to make sure that for me personally, that I don't spend anywhere near as much as I bring in, right? That's my goal. And what I found is that based on my observation, there's about 3 types of people, right? So we're gonna use basically, let's call it $5,000, right, as an example for income between 3 different people. Now, the first person that I've noticed is, right, the person that, again, makes the $5,000, but is spending $7,000 a month, right? Now, as you can see, they're in the red. They're spending $2,000 more than they're actually bringing in. So at that point, you're always fighting the battle of credit cards, and just putting yourself in a situation where you never have money, where you could go on things like vacations, or buy your girlfriend or your boyfriend something nice without having to worry about it. Things like that, right? The second person that I've noticed is a person that makes the same $5,000, but is spending $4,500. Let's call it that, right? Now they have a $500 cushion where they could either invest or put in a savings account, but really putting in a savings account, what they give you, like 0.001% interest, right?
Approximately, yeah.
So that's not really doing much for them, but they're just giving themselves a little bit of room where if anything happens, they can't, they're in trouble, right? So if your car breaks down and you need to change a wheel or anything like that, you can't really do much. But if everything is well, you got the $500, you could say, let's say you save half of it. So now you got $250 in the savings account and $250 to potentially do something else with, hopefully invest, right? Then there's the third person, which is the person that we strive to be, right? So now if I'm making $5,000, for example, now I'm spending, let's say $2,500. Now I have $2,500 that I could go ahead and keep in a rainy day fund so that if anything were to happen, I have that cushion every month, right? 2, if I want to invest in something like stocks or anything of that nature, I have the funds to be able to do so. So that's the person that you want to be, because you create a cushion for yourself, one, which is huge, just in case anything happens, because life happens. So you never know. You want to always be ready. And next, it gives you give yourself a chance to go ahead and invest so that money that you have that's extra, you could use that money to grow. And that's exactly where you want to be.
Yeah. Like you said, Ralph, I think when it comes to finance, it's a process, right? And I think like for our generation and what my observation that I've seen is everyone wants to sprint, that instant gratification. Everyone wants success right now. But in reality, the situation is, it has to be a process, right? You have to be patient, and then you have to make sure that, you follow the proper steps. So my recommendation is always for any financial journey that you're about to take on, it's always important to make sure you set the proper foundation. And what that is always create a budget sheet. It sounds simple, but trust me, if you have a budget sheet, for starters, it frees up so much of your money, but not also free up your money, but it put you in check with your money, right? Show you where, your money is going, so you become more aware. And then from there, you can either create room and for yourself to save, and then most importantly for you to invest, so allow your money to work for you. And those are some of the things that we want to help guide, which is creating those foundations and creating introductory videos and content to kind of give you guys that first step to finance. And then also, if you guys want to prolong and get more involved, we provide content for that as well. But most importantly, there's 2 type of people in a book that I read. It's called The Millionaire Mind by Stanley Johnson. It identified there's 2 type of people. So you have one person that's income statement affluent, and you have the other person who's going to be the balance sheet affluent, right? The difference between the two, an individual who's income statement affluent, similar to like you were saying, that person will make X amount, but those person live on credit card. They spend all their money, they live the flashy life, right? And then guess what? They're miserable, they're living in debt, and so forth. And then you have the individual that are balance sheet affluent. Those are the individual where they might spend a certain amount of money, but at the end of the day, they allow their investments, so their assets, their stocks and so forth, to provide for their lifestyle. But at the end of the day, they're creating wealth, and then they're balancing their money the right way. And that's kind of like what we strive to be. We educate ourselves, we put ourselves in the right network, so we continue to grow. But at the same time, we want to take you guys on this financial journey with us. And at the end of the day, we hope to learn from you guys as well. We're not going to say that we're gurus. We're just two guys, just trying to make the right strides financially. And for the things that we've done and for the things that we know to be true, we just try to help you, educate you guys as well, So that's pretty much our goal. And then we know that, for our surrounding, that people, they grind hard, right? They put in work and they can, for the most part, sustain their livelihood. But at the same time, take it a step further where we're not just sustaining, but we're growing, right? For the long term, not just for yourself, but for your family. And that's kind of where our mindset is at the moment.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest things for me, right, that always resonates in my mind is the one quote that I have where Jay-Z said, financial freedom is his only hope. Yeah. Right? He said, forget being rich and dying broke, right? So that's one of the things that, Dinka just eloquently spoke about, is just making sure that we're not just, going ahead and working to pay bills. We're working, but we're growing as well.
Yeah,
so
it's work to live. But at the end of the day, it's all a mindset, man. And then what we're trying to do is just trying to turn that switch, where it's just a way of thinking, and then the way you see things, you kind of can capitalize on opportunities, so that's kind of like what we're doing. Thank you guys for tuning in to Blacc Screen Finance.
And if you like the content and want to help us continue to build the community, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.